looking at parents, they just be staring. You see what I'm wearing, that's off-white. I be thinking McLaren, sipping a beverage, BK to BX sauce fight. We hopped in the booth, I'm speaking to you. Now everything is alright, cause I got that bag, I can't lose it. Remember them bitches was snoozing, now they all fuck with my music, yeah. Tryna fit this bankroll in these bone mains.
Nowadays video about our top kitchen gadgets.
No, the other thing, the main thing.
Oh, we're doing the day of eating of Shawn Baker, Dr. Shawn Baker.
Heard of him?
I have. Have you? He's all about the meats. Mainly a carnivore, but we were looking at his Instagram feed and he's not discriminating these days. Usually it's just like a ribeye morning, day, and night. But now he's doing fillets, he's doing some seasonings. He also does Wendy's a lot. So we haven't really planned out the day. We just know we're gonna be eating meat. He's
like
obsessed with his outfit.
Check out the outfit, guys. So these are long johns. I got them recently, and then Mega got this sweatshirt for me, and I feel like this is a typical outfit that some girl,
and like his Uggs.
Yeah, like some girl walking around the dorms, like she just got done sitting Indian style with her laptop, now she's like walking to the next dorm.
She's going to class like that, because girls have no shame these days.
So yeah, it's like 9 right now, 8:40.
8:40.
Not much goes into this one. It's basically we're just gonna get meats at the grocery store today and eat them. So I'm thinking my total steak consumption today should be around 2.4 pounds.
That much?
Maybe.
I was thinking like 12 to 16 ounces.
He always side eyes us.
I know, so does Miley.
See, you're chatting on Bumble. How do I get to the questions? Okay, so on Instagram, I asked people to submit questions about the carnivore diet, since that's kind of the theme for today. Let's see if there's any good ones. How to maintain your vitamin intake. This is a good one. We'll get to that later. Because the assumption is you're missing all of these vitamins, right? Because you're only eating meat, you're not eating vegetables, which are rich in vitamins. The thing is, vegetables aren't rich in vitamins. We'll get to that though. Someone's asking if you eat veggies on carnivore. No.
Hello! We just recorded a really good podcast episode of our top 10 takeaways. And
Give them one.
We're probably gonna do a video on it too.
Give them one.
There's so many good ones. Mike Mutzel, I don't know why I'm talking to that. Mike Mutzel, we talked about a lot of things with him. The gut microbiome, metabolic flexibility, what did you like about what he said?
Just how our food has changed throughout the years. So
Yeah.
like the vegetables we eat now are not the same as the vegetables ancestors
Right,
ate.
like broccoli didn't even exist. Strawberries weren't this big.
Literally zero of the foods.
Yeah, and
The
how
plant foods existed. Julius is over here relaxing. Hey, how's it going? And it's raining.
It's pouring. What do you want to do now?
We're gonna record podcast intros, then we're gonna go to the gym.
Aim at your body parts, yeah. Take off your body parts, yeah. I'm swinging when I'm off the ecstasy. That's a Molly Park, yeah. Iron on me, that's a Tony Stark, yeah. Pouring falls in a 20-ounce soda pop, yeah.
Just got a workout in, and here we are in the car. We're outside of Publix. You know, when you're at the gym, you listen to music, sometimes your brain just wanders, and generally to good places. And I was thinking about my all-time favorite video on the internet. Do you guys have one? Comment below what yours is, because everyone has one.
We have favorite videos?
Yeah, you don't have an all-time favorite video?
No.
Do you know what mine is?
You're that basketball one for In the Lab.
No.
That made you cry.
No, that's a good one too, though. It is this video.
Is it the Kendrick Lamar video where the girl's twerking?
That's one of my favorites too.
The scene. Insert the scene now.
I'll put that one in, yeah.
I got 25 later on my dresser, yes sir.
It's this video, guys.
There's so much buildup. What is it?
Phone disconnected.
It's finally here.
The train video?
I'm finally gonna get a heritage unit on camera. Yeah! All right, look at that, a 1953 E8. Woohoo! Oh yeah, listen to that bell.
That basically summarizes it right there. I'll also link the video below. It's basically a guy getting completely irrationally excited about a train, like an old train that's coming through New York, and it's his first time ever seeing it. And then there's an awesome bonus that it's actually attached to like another rare train, so he just like completely loses it when he notices that the other thing's attached. The first comment on the YouTube video is
Has
kind
like
of
a ton of thumbs ups, right?
It's kind of how I feel, and it's I'll read it directly. Deep down, we are all jealous that we don't have something in life we are as passionate about, and that's kind of the way I feel. Like, we get to talk about keto all day with you guys. That's close to one of my top passions in life, I would say.
I would agree.
But before this, I was just like trying to find ways to express my passions, and it's kind of tough.
Well, I was also trying to find my passion.
Like, if you ever been just at a bar and you're just chatting with people trying to strike up conversation and it's really hard, no one really has a lot in common with you, then you meet one guy and he's just like, what did you think of the new Post Malone album? And you're like, oh my gosh, you just get like really excited inside. You're like, we get to talk about rap now for a little bit. And that's kind of how it is with like keto. Like, we get to talk about it all the time, but a lot of people, it's you and your wife and your kids, you might love, I don't know, woodworking, and you don't really have anyone to chat with about it. I think it's important. Just want to get that out there.
To find the passion or find the person?
I think finding the passion is one thing, but a lot of people kind of have that in place, but finding a way to share it with people and just like talk about it once in a while is important. And if you guys don't know much about Shawn Baker, he's been doing a carnivore diet for like 18 months or so now. He only eats red meat, particularly muscle meat. It's basically just steaks all day.
Do calories matter while eating carnivore if you're still trying to lose weight?
Calories matter in all contexts.
Though, a little caveat I would say is I think one of the benefits of carnivore could be that you're not having to track so strictly and like stress about fitting this into your macros and that into your macros, because you are just eating one type of food, one food.
It's hard to overeat without so much variety. So I will say, I think a lot of people that start doing like vegan diets, start doing only fruit diets, and even start doing only meat diets, they're looking for an answer to their eating issues, is a lot of it. Because you just want this one food that you can eat as much as you want and you won't gain weight.
Right.
Which, if that's your reason for doing any kind of diet, it's not good. There's mental stuff going on. You got to solve that before any kind of diet magically fixes it.
I mean, I don't want to say like no one out there can overeat on meat and gain weight, but it's possible. Like, you can still put on weight on a carnivore diet.
Oh, real quick, our experiences with this isn't like the first time we've done it.
Yeah.
We've done it intermittently a little bit. So like probably the longest consecutively I've done only meat, 7 to 10 days, I would say.
I would say like five days.
These shoes are not great for rain. Pouring. It's not going to stop raining for the next 4 days. Wow. So this is 1.5 pounds, and that is, I don't know if I can even eat all that. I might just go with one of these.
For a day, you could do that.
This is a ribeye, and this is, it's 24 bucks. Look at the marbling on this. Grab that. Look at the marbling.
That is beautiful.
I'm going to get that, I think. And the price. Yeah, I might go with that. I might just go in porterhouse, she said.
Meat on the bone is always better.
Let me get like a thumbnail. Good.
Flexing on purpose, I might change the weather. It's snow on my wrist. I put the work and I got on my grind. I be living like this. When I hop out that whip, you ain't know it exists. She said she love me, no time for that bitch. My niggas hungry, they tryna get rich. I stay 100, I could never switch. These niggas know the names, the hood fade. Run it up 100K.
We got steak.
Yes, we do.
So that's Mega's. She cut into it to check the doneness.
It's a little overdone, but it's gonna be delicious because it's sous vide. And then this is Matt's, which looks pretty perfect.
So are you doing one meal?
I mean, I didn't realize we were gonna be eating this late. We just had a ton of other stuff to do, and we like did the sauna, so that takes up a lot of time. So it's 4:12 right now. I guess I'll see how I feel once I get through this. But if I'm hungry a little later, then I'm gonna eat because that's what you would normally do.
Yep.
We have bacon, we have more steaks.
So this is 1.6 pounds. I'm gonna see if I can get through it all. Want to touch on some things. So we have a podcast we did with Shawn Baker. It was a long time ago. I'll link that below though. It's a good one. So we chatted with him a few times. He's a good guy. But I want to touch on some things, just a little bit of a critique of his diet, not firing shots, but just my opinion of it.
But the first thing I want to say before we touch on that is on our way back from the gym, normally I have my first meal right after the gym, we do, and I'd be like, what am I gonna eat? And I'm like, the snack drawer like is in my head, I'm running through what I'm gonna eat.
That's
but
true.
I was like, I know
We're
what I'm
eating
gonna
steaks.
eat. This is really easy, and it takes out the decision, it takes out all the variety.
And it makes you less hungry throughout the day when you kind of just have things, set it and forget it.
You can't just eat whatever you want.
So one thing he says a lot, he says, this is a extremely species appropriate diet, which I don't agree with at all. So species appropriate, saying like this is appropriate for humans to eat, basically.
Right.
This is what humans should be eating. At no point throughout history did humans only eat the muscle meat of animals. They ate the entire animal. And you can say some places only ate animals, but they weren't just eating the muscle meat, because there's very little nutrition in the muscle meat comparatively to like organ meats. Another couple concerns I have. There's a lot of good data that extremely high protein diets accelerate aging, which can be offset by, again, eating the whole animal because you're balancing the amino acids. When you're just eating muscle meat, you're getting a select set of amino acids, a lot of methionine, which is the one that accelerates aging. That can be counteracted with a lot of glycine, which you're not really getting here. Glycine is in like collagen, bone broth, basically any like meat on the bone. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me why you would only eat muscle meat and not eat the organ meats, because the organ meats, for example, have a lot of things that muscle meat doesn't have, like vitamin A content, just a lot of more fat soluble vitamins. Even eating eggs would make a lot of sense, because then you're getting more like vitamin K2. Just getting more vitamins in all, which I think is the goal of any diet, right? The vitamin and nutrient density of the diet, that matters a lot.
One thing I definitely want to talk about. So like, is Shawn Baker living a better, healthier life than a standard American sedentary individual? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say so.
He's setting records. I forget what it's called, like the exceptional person theory type of a thing.
What's
so
that?
like if you're basing how to play quarterback off of Tom Brady, that's not going to work for everyone. Tom Brady's an exceptional person. Same with Shawn Baker. Like, you can't really base nutrition advice off Shawn Baker. He's 50 years old setting world records. So what works for him for sure isn't going to work for everyone. Whereas more of like a middle of the road type of person, there's like basics that work for most people.
I feel like it would probably like turn heads if he went like started eating veggies. Like, does he want to like not be this carnivore guy? Because it's like, it's his thing, right?
So you see a lot of videos lately, vegans becoming not vegan, to where he's identified. He's the meat guy.
Identified, yeah.
So you have to think of how hard it is for some of these vegans that have been doing it for 10 years. All their friends know them as the vegan guy. They're probably evangelicalizing, however you say that, veganism constantly, right? After 10 years, if you come out and you're like, I'm not a vegan anymore, that's really hard. You have to think for like 2 or 3 years prior to that, they've been like wrestling with this in their head. They're like, I'm the vegan guy, but I don't think I really want to be vegan. It's really hard, because I was a vegetarian for a while, and it was tough to decide to start eating meat again, of course.
Was it?
Yeah, harming animals is bad. At some point, it's like, yeah, I'd prefer not to kill and eat animals, but how much are you personally willing to sacrifice your own health to do that?
Yeah, you're harming your own health. I mean, it's working for him. He's doing incredible things. I mean, his CAC score, 0, right? Like, aside from his, like, what was it, the blood glucose numbers or cholesterol numbers? Like,
his resting blood glucose and his testosterone.
Right. Aside from that, like, he's a pretty just stand-up healthy guy.
Is there ever a period in your life when you stuck with a diet for 18 months straight and were like, this is it. I'm like, this is the one for me. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to even experiment at all. That's weird to me. To me, that's kind of a red flag. Like,
it's stagnant.
Why would you not try improving? You think you got it figured out. To me, you never have it figured out, right? And then one last thing I want to touch on, because a lot of people seem to think like vitamins and minerals is a big issue with this.
And constipation.
Everything you need for human life is in meat. Every single vitamin, mineral, nutrient, all of them.
That is so good.
There's an article, I just want to look at like some contrasting viewpoints to this. So 10 nutrients that you can't get from animal foods was an article. Healthline.com, I'll link it below. Because so many people just go by conventional wisdom, right? Vegetables, they don't taste that good, but they're super healthy just because they're healthy. 10 nutrients that you can't get from animal foods. 1, vitamin C. So this is kind of true. The USDA hasn't tested a lot of foods for vitamin C, but there is other sites. I actually got this from a video by Frank Tufano, who I love his channel. I talk about him all the time. I'll link that video below, but there's actually a German website where there's a German database where they do test all animal foods for vitamin C, and beef liver, 1 serving, has about 25% of vitamin C. So theoretically, if you were eating an ancestral diet, nose to tail type of thing, you would get vitamin C.
What about like...
In this, there's probably none, no.
Okay.
And then 2 through 5, this is where it gets...
2 through 5?
Yeah, 2 through 5, this is where it gets really alarming. You're like, oh, so meat has everything? Flavonoids, however you say it. So these are not essential to human health at all. They're more like an optional, maybe a nice add-on, I would say. But even that, I'd say, is like kind of debatable.
So what did flavonoids do?
Reduced risk of heart disease, improved brain function, better colon health. A lot of these are in correlative data sets where people eating vegetables generally are living healthier lives than those not eating vegetables. 6 through 10, so there's really, as you can see, three things. Dietary fiber, which is not at all an essential nutrient. You can get by with 0 fiber.
So are they just naming 4 different fibers?
Yeah.
What are the fibers?
Resistant starch, lignans, inulin, pectin, beta-glucan. Nowadays, I think of this the same way I used to think of plant foods. Like, this is where you get your vitamins, your minerals. This is what you need to sustain life and proper function. Vegetables are like an optional, maybe plus type of a thing.
And and they can be delicious. So like it also makes it sustainable, you know, as opposed to a carnivore diet. Because we did get a lot of questions, DMs about the constipation. So one day of carnivore is not going to constipate us. But when it comes to the fiber intake, your body will adapt to what you're feeding it. So maybe you're not passing as many bowel movements. Maybe you're not pooping once or I used to poop like twice a day. Is that necessary? No. But did it feel normal at the time? Yes. So converting over to a less fibrous diet, maybe it'll take a couple weeks for your body to adjust. And because a lot of people are showing that you can get by without fiber and be healthy, you can be athletic, you can have a strong brain function without flavonoids. You're good to go.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. Honestly, the position I currently find myself in after doing this for like 3 years, trying to learn as much as I can along the way, is I want someone to really lay out a solid case on why you should eat vegetables. But if you guys have any good sources for that, obviously, comment below with your opinions on all of this.
Even though, you know, Matt's not fully sure on the board
I still
of
eat
veggies.
them.
We still eat them. We still love
Every
them.
day.
We have snacks. We eat dark chocolate. Like, we live our lives, you know?
I'm going to keep the cameras on and see if we can eat all this.
Look at my bank account. Look at the cash amount. I get the cash amount. I do the dash amount. Look at my bank account. Look at the cash amount. I get the cash amount. I just be cashing out. Walking that bitch and I'm
Mega just crushed her steak.
I've never had to, like... I mean, it's one meal, and I've never, like, been in a position where I could just go to town on, like, a, whatever, 18-ounce steak. Because I always limit myself. I'm like, just the 8-ounce.
I hit a wall pretty quick there. I don't know why.
But see, here's the tricky part with carnivore. I'm hungry for a
Other
fat
things.
bomb. It's so good. I'm always going to get porterhouses, even if I know I can't eat it. At, like, steakhouses, I bet steakhouse porterhouses are amazing.
And as far as like the cost of carnivore eating, this wasn't that expensive, right? I think mine was $11 maybe? No, yours was like 13. A lot of people asking about the types of animal meat you should eat. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's really up to you. Just me giving my 2 cents. What I would do if I did this, I would eat predominantly red meat. I would eat fish and I would eat eggs.
I would definitely do salmon. I would definitely do eggs. Yeah, I mean, but like technically you could do, like, could you do mayo, you know? Because like, could I make my egg salad?
I mean, technically you can do whatever, right? It's about what makes you feel good.
Right.
It's not about like adhering to some strict parameters that make you in this club. It's about finding something that you like.
It's definitely hitting me. Like, this was a mistake. And I know I'm going to regret it later.
Good pun.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
So final takeaways for me, I would say I don't like eating like this. I like having some vegetables, a little bit of variety. But the general premise I'm on board with, most of your nutrition daily should come from animal sources. Sprinkle in some plants here and there. That's kind of what I do. I like to have the option of having like a Quest bar at random times. Just different snacks.
Or at
Nuts.
least like the weekends, we have date night.
Yeah.
Date night, I don't want a ribeye for date night if I'm eating ribeye every single day. I want like Indian food, you know?
Yeah. What do you do for date night, Shawn? Let us know what you guys think. Let us know who else you want us to do day of eatings like.
I did cheat though a little. I put some garlic powder on my steak.